We pity these corruptors and their families if they have to live in poverty. We really do, right? But imagining the time when they live in luxury, where thousands of families had to live in slums, living in bad condition they are, without any chance to get even basic needs, we think it's quite just, right? Moreover, OO's mechanism will never make sure that their evil crimes will never be fully punished. So on CG, we want to make them poor and take away their power, right? Before that, couple of clarification under CG, right? Firstly, we said OG did a bad job in setting up the debate, right? CG is going to be very clear on what our stance will be, right? We're going to impoverish them. We're going to take away not only their money, but also cut their connection, right? If they want to build a business or join even a political party, we're going to boycott them. They will be unable to cooperate with anyone. On the opposite side, if they only take away the money or put them in jail, they can simply get it back, right? So secondly, unlike OG, we're not going to take only 150% of the money they take, because we say that maybe they have their own asset a lot more than the money they take, right? So we're simply taking away all of their money and make them poor, right? We're going to take the bullet for OG. We're going to explain OO's concern about why it's okay to make even the family poor, right? Lastly, we said that under our side of the house, it is going to be now easier to detect corruptors, right? Because they can no longer cover up for each other, right? Because they no longer have the connection. So now people, society, whistleblowers, they have more incentive to call the corruptors, because under our side, we make sure that on our side, they're actually being punished and are stripped of power, right? So now, engaging to OO's principle, right? Our first point, why the corruptors and their family getting impoverishment to the point in which they are very poor is justified, right? All question why these people deserve to be punished, the family, right? We say that maybe they actually do, right? For four reasons. A, we say the family are complicit to the crime. Most of the time, they know what the corruptors do, right? And they still justify it because they use the money for themselves. We say that this is a crime of negligence where they don't call out the corruptors for doing corruption, but instead, they're indirectly encouraging the corruptors to keep doing corruption because they enjoy the money being given to them, right? B, even if they are innocent and they don't know about it, it is still fine, right? Because we say that at the very least, they still felt the luxury they get, which is the blood money that they have been using, right? We said that this is not their right in the first place. It is something that has been acquired unjustly, so we said it's justified to simply take it back. See, comparatively, the crime that the corruptors have done has affected so many families in the country into poverty, right? This looks like, for example, the corruptors taking money for welfare distribution, 3 billions that could have been used for helping poor people. Instead, it went to their pockets and enjoyed by their family, right? So all question, what about the education or the future of the children of the corruptors, right? Then we also question, what are the money that's been taken away from all other children, tons of children that could have gained education, but instead the funds for them are used for the corruptors' own indulgence, right? Lastly, this also incentivizes the government to help the people as well, right? We say, they might always say that, oh, this is going to give more burden to govern. But then that's not true, right? This is an exchange within one corruptor that has billions of dollars with tons of poor people that actually live in poverty, right? We're going to take that money and we can use it to help this many poor people, right? So the number of poverty is going to be way less under our side and not cumulative as all try to say, right? So even if all want to say there is a bigger burden, we say that no, it's bigger support and incentive to the government to take care of these people under our side of the house. The framing here is two things, right? Firstly, all cannot say this is unjustified to make rich people to become impoverished because of the money they get through in dishonest methods anyway, right? The crimes that has been done has so much impacts to ton of family in the country, so the impacts are going to be even worse on the other side by letting the corruptors to just be there, right? Secondly, the worst case that all brings for our side is the one that's going to be harmed is one family of corruptors being impoverished, right? Comparatively under CG, the one that is going to be directly harmed by these corruptors are hundreds, thousands of families being forced into poverty. No judge that our burden in CG is not to make sure that the money is going to go back to these people, but to make sure that the harm that has been done to the corruptors and family is just, right? Because many families have suffered that already in the first place because of them, right? So the way for this is that firstly, CG engages on why it has to be at the level of impoverishment. Opening was only debating whether they're going to give punishment to them or not, right? While CG specifies that the powers of corruptors and why taking away all of their resources is necessary. Secondly, this takes all of opposition's potential argument on why status quo is enough, as they are not engaging in the grave reality that it is the power of character being uniquely so big that you need to make them impoverished, right? So, proceeding to my second point, right? Why CGS against corruption under opposition side won't be achieved if they don't take away the money, right? all conceded that these corruptors are very rich, that they can get away with the punishment, right? But literally, their alternative is how they will put these criminals in jails and into like rehabilitation. They think that is going to make them simply deterrent, right? So what CG will do is very simple, right? We're going to take their power from the root of their power. This means three things, right? A, when you don't get specific money, these corruptors can lobby the people in prison. For example, they're going to live, they will be doing good in jail, right? This is what Setia Novanto, where we didn't make him in poverty, and now he's living his best life in prison, right? Under our side, comparatively, when you get them to jail, you're going to make them punish like any other person without power is, right? So the retribution is going to be symmetrical under our side, right? Because we make sure that they don't have the power to lobby their way out. B, under OO, when they're going to finish jail, people will have a false sense of security by saying like, oh, they are already rehabilitated, they can actually change. When in reality, they can still be corrupt, right? So under CG, we prevent them from being able to corrupt again because we cut their connection. So even if they want to corrupt, they no longer can, right? Because they no longer have the connection they used to do, right? So C, we're making sure that this not only neutralize the harm that has been done, but also making sure that they are afraid to do the crime again, right? On opposite side, when they do corruption, they're only going to get penalized by going to jail, for example, or get their money taken back, right? We said that it's going to be, in the end, zero sum, right? It is either do or nothing for them. On our side, we're going to make them poor, taking away all of their money. So in the end, it's going to be minus sum, right? It's either do or die for them. So under our side, even catching one corruptor will spread fear among all future corruptors and prevent them from starting the crime, right? So the conclusion is, under all's worst case for us is that these corruptors have a certain extent to hide their asset from being caught, right? Which we already explained that is not exclusive, right? It is just a matter of timeline. So CG's benefit is much more widespread than OG because they are contingent on directly catching corruptors and the outcome from that, right? On CG, we said that the impact is going to be wide scale and we make sure that in the future they are unable to recommit their crime because we strip them of their power, right? Very proud to propose. Thank you.